call it a consumer comeback. Consumer confidence rising to the highest level in a year. And a deeper dive into the data shows particular appetite for big ticket purchases. Those planning to buy a new car hit the highest level since July. For new appliances, it was the highest since last February, pre-pandemic. And expectations for buying a home, the highest on record in the history of the survey, which is 40 years plus old. This all comes as Americans sit on the highest personal savings rate in 4 decades. They're getting stimulus checks as well, so time to take your positions. Where do you want to be ahead of this shopping spree? Nadine, what do you say?
We've got 3 related plays. One is going to the casino. So we like Macaw for not just the high rollers, but the mass names like Melco, LVS, Win. We love those kind of names. Same thing with travel. We talked about Dufry last week. Could be Expedia. I don't know about you, but my 3 kids cannot wait to get out of even a great town like Palo Alto. They want to go anywhere. So people will spend on services, not just products. And then you said autos. We love VW for all that they're doing in the EV space. They're doing fast charging points in Europe. They're going to have, I think it's called 5 times in the next 4 years in terms of the amount of fast charging points in Europe. So lots of different ways to play this.
Yeah, well, we thought what was so interesting about this data is that the intent is to spend, and they actually have the money to spend. And we were saying personal savings rate was high. It is estimated that during the pandemic, U.S. households saved $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion potentially to be unleashed onto this economy, Bonawyn. What does that make you go to?
Well, I kind of want to parse that out just a little bit. I will say that that savings rate has mainly been concentrated in like the wealthier pockets of the United States. And that correlates well with who has benefited the most from asset price appreciation. So kind of letting that trickle down, I actually think that, you know what, I will be looking at services, travel, leisure type of activity and services as opposed to durable goods. And we have seen a pickup in that, but I think that might abate. We will see some trickle down effect into those pockets of the market. That's how I'd be looking at playing it. Yeah,
we were also talking about housing. Case-Shiller came out today. Home prices are 15-year highs, Tim. And the intent to buy an appliance is also high. And that brings to mind, at least in my mind, a fast pitch, I believe, that you did on Whirlpool.
Yeah. It was a power pitch, and it was a kind of a view both on housing and the consumption trends, just in terms of light durables. And yes, we get that consumer confidence number told us a lot. Again, the delta, the change month over month, was one of the greatest that we've seen in all times. I think it was the second biggest move. So the question is, the Fed priced people out of the market. So we've talked about those. How about Visa? I mean, how about Visa and MasterCard? And how about the spending profile there? And I think that's a place to be very excited if you're a consumer. And I would just go back to Walmart and Best Buy. I'm long Walmart. I think they are a beneficiary both in a new e-commerce environment, but also with stimulus checks coming through. Best Buy, how many people just walked in and bought an Apple product or a new computer? I think they're going to continue to do that.
Interesting to say Visa and MasterCard. I mean, that's how consumers will spend. And how will they look to find things to spend on, Guy? They're probably going to go to their Google machines and use Google. And that's often forgotten in terms of, a reopening trade, so to speak, because a lot of the searches are tied to travel. And so in that respect, there is this sort of reopening bounce associated with a Google and its parent company, Alphabet.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure people do that, and we're going to talk about the Google soon. I still get my consumer reports that I sort of go through and highlight as we used to do back in the day. And I'm still one of these people, unlike you. I like going to stores and seeing things, the tactile sensation of actually touching a couch at a Restoration Hardware or looking at one of the Dutch ovens in Williams-Sonoma, which, oh, by the way, both made new all-time highs today. And those stocks, people have knocked them on valuation. Guess what? It's been the wrong thing to do now, literally for the last couple of years. I still think there's room in both of those names as well.
Tim, you're raising your hand. Yes, what do you have to say, sir?
Mel, can you kick Guy out of the couch that's in the Best Buy watching the TVs while I'm trying to actually look at TVs?
I think they've probably tried to do that.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, you're one of those people. Yeah, you probably go to Barnes & Noble and sit there and read a book and not buy it. I will go to Bonawyn, though.
I know we got to go to commercial break. No, wait a second. Before we go, I love the icebreaker.
Okay, go ahead.
I told Barnes & Noble quickly. I told them they should change their business model. Charge admission at Barnes & Noble. Charge admission. You get it back if you buy something. Otherwise, think about the revenue stream those cats would have. It's genius.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah, lost opportunity there, perhaps. Bono, I was going to go to you in terms of the multiples on a Restoration Hardware or Williams-Sonoma. If you are a believer in travel and money will be spent on services, can those multiples on those, I don't want to say stay at home, but home stocks stay high?
They can, for the reason that I stated previously, which is that the spending is likely to come from different areas of the market. It's been a K-shaped recovery, and you're going to see that kind of follow through. So I do think both can coexist in the same situation.
All right.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.